it's Emily from EmilyAarons.com, and I am doing one of my friend's challenges. Her name is Deb LaFlamme, and she is a social media and marketing expert. She is incredible with giving ideas on how to market your business better. And she's one of my business besties. You guys may have seen her from some of my videos. We haven't actually done one in a little while, which makes me think it's probably that time. So she's doing this challenge right now, which I should probably pull up the exact name of it, because if you want to join her challenge, you can do it in her group. So she has a group, which let me get a link to that too. I'm just going to quickly share this inside of my group, and then I'm going to get going to give you guys the birth story of my business. So one of her prompts, let me just quickly hit that, and then I gotta go find her page. Sorry, I should have been more prepared. Hi Nikki, hey Melanie, good to see you guys. I know this is so random to like just hop on really quickly, but let me find, it's her group, it's Deb LaFlamme. It's called Social Post Ideas with Deb LaFlamme. And let me go to the main page and give you that link. Hold on, let me copy it and paste it. So the challenge is called 5 days, 5 social posts. So good morning from Star City, cool. So if you want to join, it's in her private group, and I'm going to post it in this thread just in a second, if I can just coordinate myself enough to do it. I'm going to share my quick story because I know a lot of you guys who have met me recently, you see who I am today, and that's definitely not who I have been in the whole history of my business. So for those of you who have just recently met me, you know that I am an intuitive healer, a psychic business coach. I have a mentorship, I have a membership, I do one-on-one coaching with people. I do deeper energetic healing sessions with people. I do occasional angel card readings. Hey Jen, but that's what I've been doing in the last year. Now, I have been in business for myself for a while. So I actually, when I graduated high school, I went to massage school. This video may be a little bit like a resume because I want to take you back to like where it began, and it's actually been quite a while. And you know, looks can be deceiving. I've actually been in business for almost 2 decades. And so out of high school, I went to massage school, and so I was 18 when I did that. And soon after that, I was like just kind of working part-time doing massage and doing another job like as a receptionist, and realized that I wanted to go to college. And so I went to college, and I was doing college kind of like part-time around my full-time jobs, and I realized if I wanted to get a degree within the next 10 years that it was probably a good idea to like go full-time and like switch some things around. Hey Melanie. So what I did was I was able to fit all of my work, like my job, into like four 10-hour days, and I was able to go to school full-time. And pretty soon after I started doing that, I was like, well, I think it's time to open my own business. So I was in college full-time, working full-time, and I decided I was going to open up a wellness center. And I had 3 business partners that I opened it up with. I wrote a business plan. Good morning, Carolee. I wrote a business plan, which later won an award when I was in college. But so I was in college, I was 22 years old. I had a wellness center with 3 other partners. One of them left shortly thereafter, so then there was just me and 2 other partners. And we had mainly focused on massage and energy healing. And then I started to introduce other modalities. So I brought in an acupuncturist, I brought in a guy who did yoga, and then I think somebody did skincare like a little bit here and there, but primarily it was all just like wellness services. And I loved it, and I was in college, and I was learning how to be a business person by being in college and also running my own business. And, you know, I was taking business classes and public relations classes, and, you know, my teachers would be like, what do you do in your business? And I'd be like, don't ask me questions about my business. I want to be a student right now. So anyway, fast forward, I had my business for about 3.5 years. I ended up selling my shares of my business, which wasn't very much. It was like just enough to pay for my lawyer. And I went off on my own and I did my massage practice out of my home. And it was fine. It was easy enough. And I was just feeling like I wanted to still be in like that like wellness industry, but I didn't know how to make more money because I was just doing massage, and you could make decent money, but I was looking to kind of expand, and I interviewed for spas and it just never really worked out. And what ended up happening is that I went back to doing massage kind of part-time out of like a different office, and I had a job. I went and I got a big girl job at one of the big banks here in Boston, and I was an executive assistant and doing massage on the weekends. And so as an executive assistant, I felt like, why would I get this job? Like, I know I'm smart enough, but like, I don't know, like, why would they want me? And I ended up staying there for almost 3 years. I was working on the trading floor. So I was working in this big business. We were actually at a startup within the big bank, which like all of my professional career, I've been doing like entrepreneurial things. So even though I was working for a big bank, we were a startup within the bank. It was very unusual. So we were on the trading floor every day. So I had like 2 screens in front of me. There was like TVs, the giant open floor plan, no cubicles. Everybody, it was like a long desk. Everybody shared like this big long desk, and people were like swearing, and like, it's like, look, it was like Wall Street. Like, you know, people like, like that was like my day to day. And I worked for this great group of guys, and they had like more money than God. And it got me a lot of cool perks. I got to go to a lot of like the best restaurants in Boston for free, and, you know, hang out with these people who had a ton of money. It was my first real chance of like seeing people really close up who had a lot of money. And there were parts of the job that were so great. I met so many of like great friends through that. I networked a lot. I found the job to be really easy and boring. So I would kind of like, it was like an easy breezy job, but I felt doing that work, it was easy. It made me great money, but it was soul sucking. I need some water. And because it was so soul sucking, and even though I made great money, I was like, I got to get out of here. And I actually took a 50% pay cut. Like, I was so serious about leaving, about getting back to my roots and like doing more massage and more healing work, or being with people who I really loved. But I took a huge pay cut, and that was really, really hard, but it was worth it to me at the time. And I worked for a smaller like athletic, like fitness brand, and it was great because I got back to like my people, and I was able to like network again and do that stuff. And what happened is that I ended up leaving that like only a year later, because again, I wanted to get back to my roots. I wanted to get back to massage and healing, and I realized like I could see like, I think it was something like 6 or 7 clients a week to make the same money as me working a 40-hour week job and being a manager at this store. So I was like, duh, why didn't I think of this sooner? I think probably because I was having fun at some point. But what I realized is like, I can just go back and do this work. And in doing more massage, that's what started leading me back down to like, how can I help more people? What can I do? What can I be? Like, who do I have to be? And I took an intuition class. And the intuition class I thought was just going to be like really fun. And what happened was I first realized during that intuition class that I was pretty intuitive. I didn't know I was. I mean, I knew that I had been doing energy work and massage, and I just felt like that was part of like the whole thing. But actually, from doing massage and energy healing for, at that point, about almost like 10 years, my intuition and my abilities had really strengthened, and I hadn't even really understood that. And I met some amazing people in that class, and I'm still friends with a few of them. Like, still, that was like almost 5 years ago. But what happened is that it started turning on like light switches for me, and intuitively, like, I realized I had this ability that was like strengthened. And then when I like fast forward a few years, up in basically last year, like last fall around this time, again, I was at this point where I was like, I'm ready to like shift my business and change the world and help more people, excuse me. And I started investing more in my business, in business coaches. And I invested in a class where I became certified as a soul book editor. And for those of you who don't know what that is, basically it's taking the energy work that I've already been doing for over a decade, almost 2 decades actually, and it takes it even deeper. So the things like I'm a trained massage therapist and polarity therapist. So I'm actually a registered polarity practitioner. What that means is it's a certification of energy work. That means that I can clear stuff, let it go, and bring in the things that support you. So doing a soul book editing certification, it took that even deeper, and it gave me more tools to get faster results for my clients. And what's happened is it's not only transformed my clients and their physical bodies, but also what I saw was that I was attracting so many entrepreneurs. And this work that I've been doing physically and energetically on people, it was helping, but now I could use it in like a holistic way in their business, in their personal life, in so many different places. And what started happening was my business started to really expand, and then my client's business started to really expand, and it was like this thing that was like a snowball effect. And in doing more of this work, it's like I'm remembering who I really am and what my gifts are. And when I was working at that bank, it was soul sucking and it was tiring in a way that like, you know, you're just kind of not like bored, but it's like, this is a misuse of my energy. And I know a lot of people who follow me, who like my page, they still have jobs that they work at full time. They're not entrepreneurs. And I do mainly talk to entrepreneurs, but there are still people who are working a 9-to-5 job and trying to figure out like, how do I transition? How do I quit? And I'm not really the expert on how you do that, but what I can say is that from being in a position where I was in this kind of soul-sucking job, even though it paid great money and it wasn't like horrible, I had like a nice boss. He always like gave me a Christmas bonus. Like he was a nice guy. It was like, I felt like I was doing the world a disservice. Like I wasn't doing enough. And I know if you have that, yeah, I was just going to say, Carly, like you guys can probably relate to that because we all kind of feel that calling, and I know that I attract people who are like that. So it's like, I know that I'm meant to be doing more than this. And I used to have a boyfriend, and he said that cubicles are for the bored and uninspired. And I always like kind of hung with me, and I'm like, I'm not uninspired. I'm really inspired. I am just here right now. And so, you know, you're the only person who knows when it's the right time to make the transition for you and your family and your lifestyle. But what I can say is that when you have the support around you to make that transition, oh my gosh, like so much is possible. And I honestly do say, like, it didn't just happen like this year by coincidence. Like this year, I mean, I had my son 2 years ago, but in being here and having my kid 2 years ago, it meant my husband was mainly the sole income provider, which took a lot of pressure off me and put it all on him. That's a whole nother story. But what happened was in that space of like a little bit of relief, because I've been on my own, I lived on my own since I was 18 as well. So I've always had the financial burden on me to have to, you know, pay the bills and, you know, do all that. But it made it easier for me to not have the pressure to like open up and expand. And I know that it's not like that for everybody. And I was really fortunate that for that, like, you know, last year of my life, I was able to expand into that. And now I know that I'm out from underneath my husband and supporting the household and, you know, taking us on vacation and like doing other things. So the place where my business was basically, it used to be me as a massage therapist, and that's all that I really was known for. I had a business, so I was an entrepreneur. I owned a business, and I've been through a lot. And even some people look at me and they're like, so how does intuition and business, like how do they go together? And at this point in my life, I don't see them as separate. And one of the things that my clients get from me, from working with me, is realizing kind of a new mechanism to use to think about your business, your life, any kind of adjustments and changes to go in a little bit deeper to get that answer out and like step into who you want to become in a much deeper, soulful, aligned way. Anyway, I think that's like a long story. I was hoping to make this like a little bit shorter, but I guess it's a lot of information to kind of condense. So, you know, where I'm at right now and what I love to do today, I love channeling guidance for clients. I love doing psychic business coaching. So if any of you guys who have kind of hung with me and stayed on and listened to my story, if any of you guys are here and have any kind of business question or a place where you're feeling stuck and overwhelmed in your business and your work, where you would like a little bit of insight, I can give you guys a minute to do a little bit of channeled guidance for you if you so choose. You just have to write in a question and I'd be happy to help. Specific questions, not like, will I find success? Like, that's kind of vague. So, you know, pop in a question if you like, and I'd be happy to help support you. Lots of talking. And I know there's always a little bit of a delay, so I'll give you guys a minute. And I wanted to share this prompt because my friend Deb, who's doing this challenge, she does these little challenges once in a while, and I love doing them because it gets me, like, for me, sometimes, you know, I'll post things on social media, but with hers, it's like so intentional and so creative, and it gets me to think kind of outside the box. And so if you're interested in joining, I did post the link. You can join Deb's group. Let her know I sent you, and you can join in the challenge for sure. Nikki, is the schooling that I am about to start in the direction I should be headed? Is the schooling that I'm about to start the direction I should be headed? What's your last name? Okay. Okay, let me see why. Okay, you have to take this with a grain of salt and realize that I'm picking up on your energy. Anything can change, and if you change your mind, you change your energy, this answer changes as well. So just to give you some insight, what I'm picking up on is I'm calling in your energy, Nikki. I'm calling in to see where you're at, and I asked the question that you asked, which is, should I be heading this direction? I'm hearing resistance, and what I'm getting is a no, and like, you're not sure about it. And why aren't you sure about it? I don't know why you're not sure about it. And it said passionate. They're like, you're not passionate about it. So what does that mean? I don't know what school you're going to be going into, but if you can wrap your head around like what it is that you're passionate about this schooling, then that whole answer and that whole energy shifts, if that makes sense. Like, if you're not sure if you're even passionate about it, like, it's a no. Okay, thank you so much for sharing. Should I start with a 21-day challenge for A Course in Miracles? Oh, Carolee, this is you. Oh, yay. A Course in Miracles program. And where do I find people that would be interested? Carolee, do you have any group at all? Do you have any audience? Like, do you have a business page or anybody or email list or anything like that? A 21-day challenge is tough. And here's why. You know, like Deepak Chopra and Oprah, they do the 21-day challenge, and they're Deepak Chopra and Oprah. Hey, Sarah, that's okay. I'm just giving my little business story, and you can listen back to the replay. And actually, it's so funny that you mentioned 21-day challenge, because this morning I got a download about doing a 21-day challenge for my meditation group mentorship, or membership. And I was like, wow, that's a lot. So 21 days is a lot. 3 to 5 feels a little bit stronger right now. And it's not that you can't ever do a 21-day challenge. It just feels like a little heavy. Like it's a lot of work. And I don't know if you've ever done a 21-day challenge before, but speaking from experience, a 5-day challenge is a ton of work. And it's not just the work in like setting up the emails and being on live and leading the work, but it's also, hi Delia, it's also the follow-up. And I mean, not for nothing, but like, I know when I'm going to be on live camera, like I put makeup on and do my hair. So sometimes, not all the times. But not really yet. So just getting started. So Carolee, the thing is, if you're just getting started and building your audience, it's going to be so heavy with work with like no payoff, because let's say you get like 5 people to join the challenge, like you're going to expect probably most of them are going to fall off the wagon, because that's too small of a group number that people won't be able to like increase the momentum, if that makes sense. Like I've done challenges that was like a 7-day meditation challenge, or no, it was 14-day. And it was people fell right off the wagon because my audience was so small and I hadn't really built it up enough. So what I would do for you, Carolee, is I would set up a date to do the 21-day challenge in 3 to 4 months. Until then, your only job is to become visible, to talk to people, to create a Facebook page, perhaps a group, and provide content. Like if you were gonna do the 21 days, like create all the 21 days of content, and like for the next 4 months, like give one of those things on a Facebook Live. It's not enough that people are gonna get everything that they need, but you're gonna build the interest and you're gonna build yourself as a reputable person and people will trust you. But going from 0 to 60, I don't like how that feels. It's way too heavy. It's too much work for you, and it's ultimately gonna fall flat. And I don't want you to do that. It's like we have these great ideas, which are great ideas, by the way, it's a good idea. But if you don't strategically put it together, it's gonna fall flat, and then you're gonna internalize it and be like, well, I suck. And that's just not true. You just didn't have a great strategy. Hi, Kayla. Thank you, Carolee. No, I've had some videos recently where I had like, I don't think any makeup on. I was like in my flannel. I'm like, meh. But any case, that's not why I'm here. I'm here to show up on video and to share things with you guys. So it doesn't really matter what I look like. University of Metaphysics, doctoral program for metaphysical science. Right now, I'm Reiki Master and wanted to expand to offer more to clients. So what is the University of doctoral program? What does metaphysical science offer your clients, Nikki? Would you mind answering that? What more does that, like when you have that doctoral program, like what more does that offer your Reiki clients? I'd love to know, like what's your niche? What's your specialty, Nikki? And if you guys who are watching right now have a specific business question, I'll take one more. Counseling. Counseling for who? What people do? What type of people do counsel for what? What's your specialty? Hey, want to know what Emily looks like while she's waiting? What's your specialty for? Darn delay. Nikki, are you there? She's probably typing and I'm like being impatient. My hair does look pretty good today, now that I am looking at myself. Aha! When people come for a Reiki treatment, they often have messages come through and I feel like someone I need, and I feel like sometime I need more info for them. Okay, intuitively. And that doctoral program teaches you how to do that? So basically, you don't know what your niche is or who you help because you haven't told me yet. I think that beyond any doctoral degree or any other course, if you just figure out who the person is that you help and how you help them, it's going to make your job a hell of a lot easier. And because you have a specialty, then your skill set will broaden. Does that make sense to you? Like, for instance, you know, I am the best. Like, you get the best session from me. Not if you want to get like the best session from me. If you say like, hey Emily, how do I, like, what blocks do I have against losing weight? Or like, when will I have, like, meet my next boyfriend or the next whatever? Like, I could probably like intuit for you. Like, I could look into it and like psychically get the answer for you. But it's like this for me. It's like that. It's like, it's not my favorite thing to do. And I also don't think I'm really great at it. And I'm like, why don't you call this person? They're like a relationship person. Why don't you go to them? But if you're like, here's where I'm at in my business, like, should I go in this direction or this direction? Because I want to help people more. That's where I'm like lit up and I'm excited. So you get the best of me. So Nikki, your homework is not to pay more money to get more courses until you know without any shadow of a doubt who your client, your main soulmate client is, what their problem is, and how you help them. Like, how do you serve them at the best of your abilities? So again, I'll repeat myself. The way that I serve my clients to the best of my abilities is through psychic business coaching. Like, I'm a great massage therapist. I'm a freaking awesome polarity therapist. I'm really, really good. I've been doing it for 17 years. But if you want like high level life-changing shit, come to me with any kind of block against making money or creating a better thriving business. Like, I am really good at that. Okay. So know your niche if you want to be able to serve your clients at a higher level. And Reiki, to me, it's like a catch-all. It's like a general thing. So you can be a brain surgeon and know Reiki. You can be a teacher and do Reiki. You can be whatever, a construction worker and know Reiki. But when you can channel it into a specific field, that's the most powerful. Hi, Shang. I just saw you join. Hi. I don't know if you're still here. So hopefully that helps. And I guess nobody else had a question. So I'm going to leave for the day. Hope you guys have an awesome Friday, awesome weekend. I'm off to go see some family. And my brother's getting married, so I'm super excited about that. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Oh, it is very gentle. That is what I'm trying to figure out where I should be headed. Okay. Internal, not looking externally, Nikki. Like, have you ever had a client that comes in and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so good at doing this thing? If you haven't, then you need to see more clients and you need to really like amp up your game and you need to open up and ask, how do I serve at my highest level? And keep asking and keep asking. How do I serve at my highest level? Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Nikki, you're another Nikki. I'm glad it's inspiring. And so, yeah, if you guys just caught me now, I shared like the history of my business from when I was 18, where I went from like the fast forward version timeline. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys later. Have an awesome weekend. Lots of love. Bye.